On my return flight from Toronto to London, I have to fly Aer Lingus, an Irish airline because I need to catch an early flight for my job interview. I have to say, as a frequent flyer of Asian airlines, I wasn't familiar with this airline if it's not referred by the British Air app, but I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised by its overall service. On the understanding that it was marketed as both a budget airline and a mainstream one, I wasn't expecting the service or package to be toe-to-toe with BA, but I was wrong. On my business class flight, I was allowed access to Toronto's KLM lounge, which is more than enough for a non-local carrier at the Pearson Airport. Especially for wine and beverage lovers, this lounge provides a wide range of alcoholic drinks, but for non-drinkers like me, this is still a pretty decent lounge. Once on board, I'm also pleasantly surprised by the space and design of the A330 business class seats, which is quite spacious and ergonomically sound. One special feature for the seat is the massage function, which I think it's more like a gimmick, but nonetheless, it's an interesting feature. The only catch was that the luggage compartment was a bit cramped. I was carrying a standard hand carry bag and almost couldn't close the compartment door. Interestingly, I have no such problems when boarding on their economy flight on my transit trip from Dublin to London, so I think it's more like a design issue. For amenities, I think both the package and the product are not very impressive, especially considering BA provided products from branded ones like the White Company. As for the meal, similar to the one served by BA, I think the typical British, or should I say Irish food, that they serve is actually quite good. I mean, don't judge these food by the look, okay? It's actually quite juicy and delicious. As for the service, I have to say it's very personal, and by personal I mean a bit here and there. For one, they really try hard to ensure their customers feel comfortable, like asking whether I want to have more snacks, or whether they should wake me up when they serve breakfast, etc. But in terms of aviation safety, I saw many passengers ignoring the seatbelt signs or toilet break if was not stopped by the crew. And one of the crew members used the DC socket of the seat next to mine to charge a device, even when the passenger was already seated. This is quite amusing to me, as it is after all business class. As for the transit flight, as there were no business class for the 50-minute flight, I didn't have any footage on the seats, but I have to say it's more spacious than a BA economy flight. The service is also slightly better than all the econ flights I had with BA. Overall, I would say this business class flight experience is like flying some unheard of airlines. There are moments when you would think it's not quite acceptable for a business class, but you would still forgive them because you think they have tried. And at least in terms of the hardware department, it's actually not bad. That said, in my upcoming trip to Dublin, I still chose B instead of Aer Lingus, as the pilots have already undergone strikes last week and threatened to launch more industrial action. Well, not that I think the BA staff won't do the same, but you know at least you've tried to avoid the unexpected.